So today's topic of discussion is one of the most wonderful topics. Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Gadar, Gaur Gadar. So how to receive the mercy of our divine goddess Srimati Radharani? It's one of the most wonderful, super excellent topics. Just to think about it, feel about this also fulfills a devotee's heart with so much joy and bliss. Blissful hope. How to receive the mercy of our beloved divine goddess, Swayam Rupa Mahabhava Sharupini, Srimati Radharani. First of all, we all the devotees know this fact pretty well, that without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, we cannot receive the mercy of Krishna. So it is crystal clear fact. It is very much clear. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, we can never receive the mercy of Krishna. For the sake of argument, if it is said or it is described, that yes, it can be possible to receive some mercy of Krishna without direct connection of Srimati Radharani. Since we have seen in the past years, we have seen there have been some devotees who directly worshipped, who directly engaged in directly worshipping Krishna. They are not so much familiar or not so much connected with Srimati Radharani, but they continued worshipping Lord Krishna directly and also received some grace. Yes. So, because the nature of the spiritual world, nature of the world of devotional worship, divine worshipping of the Supreme Lord is very vast. And we find there are different levels, different realms of worshipping, devotional worships, different levels, planes, qualities of relating to the Supreme Lord, through respectful worships and all. So, in the past, we often saw that worshipping Krishna along with, accompanied by Srimati Radharani remained very, very reserved. Also we find, I repeat, in the ancient time or in the past, not always, but from time to time, often we found that the worshipping of Jugala Upasana, worshipping the divine couple together in blissful devotion, remained very reserved, very confidential, more reserved way, rather than exposed or manifested in general. That was one of the main reasons Shukadev Goswami Prabhu also wanted to keep it more hidden treasure. In the language of Srila Guru Maharaj, is called hidden treasure of the sweet absolute. When something is most valuable, invaluable treasure, then it's not always exposed publicly. It's not always exposed or presented publicly, but it is kept in a more special way for special appreciation, special understanding, special valuing, rather than presenting, exposing it in general. So in a similar way, for that reason, not just similar, because of that reason, the devotional worshipping of Srimati Radharani with Krishna, or devotional worshipping, engaging in direct service of Srimati Radharani, direct love service of Srimati Radharani in relation to Krishna, or engaging in direct love service to Krishna in relation to Srimati Radharani, remain very, very reserved and special way. Not even presented by many Mahajanas, like then and there, like easily available thing. No. Rather kept in a very more confidential, very, very special, valued way. They have stayed reserved. Because of that reason, we find the way of more the common, general ways of, also beautiful way, general but also valuable ways of worshipping Krishna, engaging in worshipping Krishna or serving Krishna, found more directly, because Krishna was presented as more or less more available, kindly available, mercifully available to one and all. So, therefore we find the love worships of Krishna, the devotional worshipping and service to Krishna was presented to the general devotees, to the devotees in general, in common. So it was more easily available and more introduced. It was more introduced for all common devotees, every devotees. Come and worship Krishna. As Krishna is known to be, as Krishna is realized to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, it was like that. So, it was more introduced in that way by the Mahajanas, by the great devotees, exalted devotees. That be engaged in worshipping Krishna, service to Krishna, in a proper way, with your devotion, period. Then thereafter, after that, many of those same Mahajanas, many of those same exalted, realized devotees, presented the love worship of Krishna, being situated in devotional loving worships to Srimati Radharani. Then thereafter they said, step by step, primary stage, secondary stage, worship Krishna. Then from higher secondary stage, realm. And higher than that, on the upper level, those exalted devotees felt felt more comfortable. They rather felt more comfortable and happier to introduce, happily present the love service to Srimati Radharani. Devotional loving service to Srimati Radharani in relation to Krishna, or loving devotional service to Krishna in relation to Srimati Radharani, or serving both of them, worshipping, engaging in loving worships, devotional worship of both of them together, worshipping them as divine couple, transcendental couple. So that way. So we find, back to the point, so therefore we find both ways, both streams of worshipping. Worshipping Krishna single way, we find in many ways, okay. Also, on the higher stage, rather on the higher level, we find worshipping of Krishna Radhika, see Radhika Krishna as a yugala, as divine couple together. And no doubt, worshipping Lord Krishna in relation to Srimati Radhika, and devotionally worshipping Srimati Radhika in relation to Krishna, or worshipping, engaging in devotional worshipping of the divine couple together at the higher level of devotional practice, no doubt about it. Higher level of our devotional practices, our bhajana, life of bhajana. So, all have its own place, on its own level. So, this way. So therefore, back to the point, in general, if someone asks, has any confusion, well, it is said by Bhakti, it is clearly said by Bhakti Nandan Swami, Radha-Krishna, Six Goswami, any other exalted Guru Varga. If you don't worship Srimati Radharani, you cannot receive the mercy of Krishna. Krishna doesn't accept your worshipping. It is said in a very special way, very special way, okay, meaning that neglecting Srimati Radharani, if you have a neglectful attitude, having any type of tinge of disrespectful or neglectful attitude towards Radhika, if you have, then you cannot worship. You're totally disqualified to worship Krishna. You can never be qualified to worship Krishna or never get mercy. Okay. So, I repeat that if you purposefully or consciously try to neglect a bit or not having enough respect to Srimati Radharani and trying to worship Krishna, your worshipping will be refused. Krishna will never accept your worships. It will be completely refused. Any type of service you try to do to Krishna will be totally, summarily rejected. Okay. Will be summarily rejected and refused by Krishna. This is very true. If you have any disrespectful, neglectful attitude, that's the point. But often people don't know, they don't have access to the higher divine world of Srimati Radharani, except for Braja people, except for Vrindavan Dham people. So they don't know. It's like it's not having any disrespectful attitude to Srimati Radhika or anything, in no way. But they don't simply know. They're like in a neutral level, neutral ground. Okay, they have not yet known or they have not yet received any access to that beautiful, higher divine domain of love services to Krishna. They are more on the primary standard, primary level, general level. So to them, Krishna is supreme Lord. So without any tinge of any neglect or disrespect to Srimati Radhika, they are worshipping Krishna, engaging in loving worship of Krishna, knowing there is Srimati Radharani, divine goddess, we must pay respect. But it so happens with them, they go on more with Krishna, but without any sort of avoidance or ignoring temperament of ignoring temperament about Srimati Radhika. So in that case, those people will be benefited. Okay, because many we find they worship Krishna directly, worshipping Balu Gopal, worshipping Krishna different ways. In Shakhas also worshipping Krishna directly in Shakha mode. So we find different devotees of other rasas, levels, directly relating to Krishna. And not that Krishna will be totally refusing and rejecting all their worships because they are not directly worshipping Srimati Radharani first. Okay. So Krishna will also be accepting their worships and service accordingly, provided that they are normally respectful to Srimati Radha Thakurani, but yet they didn't have yet that adhikara, that higher qualification to be worshipping Krishna through Srimati Radha Thakurani, being situated in the shelter of devotional, in the center of Srimati Radha Thakurani, or they are not still yet situated in the higher level of devotional worships to Srimati Radhika and then worshipping Krishna through Radhika. They have not attained that level yet. But on the higher level, when we the devotees are very conscious of what is what, who is Srimati Radha Thakurani? None other than the direct self of Krishna. Krishna is Rasaraja. Krishna is Rasaraja, the supreme embodiment, personification of all divine bliss, divine pleasure, love pleasures. And Srimati Radha Thakurani is Mahabhavaswarupini, the embodiment, the highest epitome, the full-fledged embodiment, full-fledged personification of all loving devotional worships of ecstatic love of Krishna, supreme personification of all ecstatic, blissful love of Krishna, love services of Krishna. Mahabhavaswarupini. So, on the higher, back to the point, so on the higher level, when we the devotees are conscious of it, who is Srimati Radha Thakurani? That level, if any of us, any of the devotees, want to speak more of having any sort of ignoring temperament, if they do not have adequate respect, devotion to Srimati Radha Thakurani and trying to worship Krishna directly without invoking, without praying for her grace, without praying for her mercy, then of course Krishna will not be pleased. Lord Krishna will not be pleased. He will be displeased. Because devotees they have already got to that level. They have already come up through maturity, through their sadhana, as they came up to the higher level. They are already conscious of that fact, who is Srimati Radha Thakurani. So on that level, when they try to avoid in any way, ignore Srimati Radha Thakurani in any way, and want to directly approach Krishna Okay. Then, in that case, Krishna doesn't accept those worships, doesn't accept their devotional worships, any service. Because now the devotees know about. When somebody doesn't know anything, it is a different case, like a child, okay, who doesn't know much. So a child doesn't yet have that maturity, that adhikar, that qualification to know some higher level of, okay, it's a high class dealings, everything. So nobody minds. When a child acts in a just childish way or childlike way, nobody minds. It doesn't know. When a child kicks on the mother, okay, kicks with the leg to the mother, to his mother or her mother, or sometimes beating the mother, or having all tantrum and fighting with the mother doesn't mind. It's just child. My child having tantrum. Okay, I am his or her shelter. I am everything for my child. So having all tantrum on me. So sometimes kicking at me or coming out with all anger on me, doesn't mind at all. Because child is a little child, doesn't know yet. But when the same child is grown up, the same child is grown up, adult, if he or she does behave in the same way, it is offense. It will be very offensive. Offensive to mother or father. Cannot do, because now the child understands, knows what is what. In a similar way. When the devotees have already come up to certain higher level of understanding about Krishna consciousness, about Lord Krishna, then he must know who is Srimati Radharani in relation to the Supreme God Krishna. He already knows about. He's already conscious, fully conscious about that great fact that we cannot, our worshipping of Krishna, any type of devotional worshipping of Krishna can never be complete, can never be fulfilled, can never be qualified without our loving worship to Srimati Radharani, without offering full-fledged love worship to Srimati Radharani. So we should know about that fact. They are already conscious of that fact. So upon knowing with full awareness of that fact, when they try to be a bit avoiding Srimati Radharani, not disrespectfully, even just in a casual way, they become a bit casually avoiding Srimati Radharani, ignoring and directly worshipping Krishna in that way, then that is not pleasing to Krishna. That kind of devotional worships or service is not pleasing to Krishna. Krishna doesn't accept that. He doesn't accept that at all. Okay, clear and period. Okay. Radha bhajane jadi mati nahi bhela, Krishna bhajana tabo akarane gela. Atapa rahita suraja nahi jani, Radha birahita madhava nahi mani. Song of Thakur Bhakti. I'm not going into details explanation of the song, that it will take time. You can read out that song from Thakur Bhakti Vinod's composition, starting with Radha bhajane jadi mati nahi bhela, Krishna bhajana tabo akarane gela. If you would not, if you didn't feel attraction, if you didn't feel any anuraga, the love attraction for engaging in worshipping of Srimati Radharani, for engaging in bhajana of Srimati Radharani, then all your worshipping of Krishna bhajana went in vain, will simply go in vain. You must know that. Ataparahita suraja nahi jani, Radha virahita madhavo nahi mani. As we cannot imagine of the sun without its light and heat, in a similar way, we cannot imagine of Krishna. We cannot be understanding and conceiving of our real Krishna without Srimati Radhika. Just as we cannot imagine, cannot conceive of sun without its light and heat. Similar way, we cannot really conceive of Krishna, understand Krishna, know Krishna without Srimati Radharani. Meaning, Krishna conception of Godhead remains totally incomplete without Goddess Srimati Radharani, without his own Shakti, Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman, Dui Vastu Bhedo Nahi Shastra Paraman. Quoting from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman. Srimati Radharani is a full-fledged potency, power of Krishna. And Krishna is the possessor, is the owner of that full-fledged divine power, divine potency. So Srimati Radharani is the personification of full-fledged potency, power, beauty of Krishna. And Krishna is the owner of that. Thus, they are factually non-different, though they manifest differently, they manifest in distinct manner because of enjoying and tasting, relishing their divinely love union, divinely the transcendental nectarine love pastimes. That's the reason they separate, they manifest in separate ways. But actually, factually, on the other hand, they're non-different from each other. Non-different from each other, non-distinct from each other. We can try to conceive of this fact through the principle of Achinta Bheda Bhedam as propounded, presented by Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Achinta Bheda Bhedam principle, that of the nature that of simultaneously one and distinct, which is not fully conceivable, ultimately inconceivable. Because every part of that manifestation is infinite, unlimited. So it cannot be fully comprehended. It always remains inconceivable. Always remain inconceivable. Even if we are able, when we are able to conceive some of it, a glimpse of it, by the grace, by the divine grace of the divine couple, by their mercy, yet their lila cannot be fully conceived because it's infinite, it's unlimited, that unlimited character. That's why Mahaprabhu says it is ultimate sense is inconceivable. Not that it cannot be conceived at all. It can be conceived only being qualified by their mercy, not by one's own ability. Not by devotees, but by devotees one his own ability. I repeat. Okay? Not possible. by the limited ability of a devotee. But when devotees, pure devotional endeavor, pure devotional hankering to relate to them, and their mercy in response to that devotional hankering of the devotees, devotional worship of devotees come together, they are unified together, then only such conception, such conceiving about Radha-Krishna and their divine lila becomes possible. Otherwise not. So, definitely on the higher level, worshipping Krishna without Srimati Radhika is not accepted, not recognized to be a qualified worshipping of Krishna, qualified devotional service to Krishna. But on the other hand, on the contrary, Lord Krishna becomes so pleased when someone first engages in worshipping Srimati Radharani. Through one's engagement, through his engagement, her engagement in loving worshipping of Srimati Radharani, then worshipping Krishna, then Krishna becomes so pleased, so joyful, and accepts his or her service. Okay, with so much pleasure, accepts everything. That is the fact. Now, so long what I just explained about, just to create some groundwork, making some groundwork, something. Unless and until I would not have explained about that, what I have just explained so far. Question remained, because there are the different classes of different standards of worshipping of Krishna. Okay, so big question remains always, so whatever we did so far all went in vain. Okay, because we did not know to engage in worshipping of Srimati Radhika so long. We only worship Krishna so much. We had all respect to Srimati Radharani, but we are more interested in Krishna, and directly that's how we are guided, and that's how the traditional, social traditional way we did. Relating to Krishna, only worship Krishna. We are not so much conscious of Srimati Radha Thakurani. Okay. With all due respect, we are not so much qualified and conscious of worshipping Srimati Radha Thakurani. So all our worshiping went in vain. Scriptures didn't say that, all this. So such question could have arisen in the minds of devotees. So I just wanted to clarify about it in the first place. Now, it's not directly connected to today's topics of discussion, but relevant in some way, because questions come up. Krishna. So now, also vice versa. Today, from now on, this will be directly related to the topics, to the topic of discussion. Today's topic: how to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So, as we understand, in a very similar way, as Krishna becomes so pleased with the devotee who serves, who becomes engaged in service to Srimati Radharani and then serving Krishna. Similarly, our Srimati, our divine goddess Srimati Radharani, also becomes very pleased with that devotee who engages in service to her beloved Lord Krishna in the first place, and then relates to her, engages in worshipping Srimati Radharani. It's vice versa. Okay. And that is one of the most prominent ways to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. I repeat, one of the most ideal, prominent ways to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani is that to devotionally engage in worshipping her supreme beloved, her beloved Lord Krishna. Okay. And pure devotees of Krishna. As Krishna becomes so much pleased to accept all the worships, love worships from those devotees who are devotees of Srimati Radharani, worshipper of Srimati Radharani in a similar way. On the other hand, not exactly contrary, it's a lingual way. On the other hand, very similar or same way, Srimati Radha Thakurani also becomes very, very pleased to accept all the devotional worships, services from that devotee who engages in loving worship of Krishna and then worshipping her. That's their relationship. Then she becomes very merciful. That is a very genuine, qualified way to attract her mercy. Now, question will arise. So, both are wanting both ways. So, which way should we accept? The best way to accept, worship them together. Okay, simultaneously. That's what we do. We are the great worshipper of divine couple together. Not one without the other. Okay. We call aprakrita jugala sadhana. Okay. Engaging in our loving devotional services to the divine couple together at the same time. Okay. At the same time, simultaneously. That's the very complete way, very perfect way to worship. Then both of them are so pleased to accept all the services of their devotees. Now it is not his devotee or her devotee. They become their devotees. Devotees of aprakrita jugala kishora prajadha, Sri Radha-Krishna, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda Dev, Radha Gopinath, Radha Radhika Ramana, Radha Damodara. In this way. Of course, in order to satisfy certain criteria of their lilas, certain criteria of their pastimes, sometimes the devotees play their own roles, respective roles. Some are more engaged into the direct service to Krishna in relation to Srimati Radharani. Some are more engaged, some are more directly engaged in the direct loving service to Srimati Radharani in relation to Krishna. Okay, in this way, they are playing their own respective roles, satisfying their own respective roles in their services. But all happening in relation to each other. We have to mind that. I have to understand that in relation to each other. Okay? Not in separation from each other. That is the ideal, complete, perfect way to worship. Worship them together. Rasaraja and Mahabhava. Rasaraja Krishna and Mahabhava Srimati Radharani. Shaktiman Krishna and Shakti Swarupini Srimati Radha Thakurani together. And secondly, very prominent way to receive mercy of Srimati Radharani is to be engaged in worshipping Mahaprabhu, Gaura Hari, who is none other than the combination of both. Okay? Rasaraj and Mahabhava. That's what he showed to Rai Ramananda Prabhu. We see in Rai Ramananda Samvada, at some point, Srimad Mahaprabhu, being overwhelmed with joy, relishing the association of his eternal beloved associate Rai Ramananda, Mahaprabhu presented himself, manifested that Sarupa before his eyes. And as soon as Rai Ramananda beheld, had darshana of the combination of Rasaraj and Mahabhava together as Gauranga, he lost all external consciousness. He immediately fell unconscious, means he immediately lost all external consciousness and fell down. Then at some moment, by touching Rai Ramananda, by touching Rai Ramananda with his own hands, Mahaprabhu again woke him up and on the normal external consciousness. Then Rai Ramananda was having hard time to recognize Mahaprabhu. See, they are all lila. We have to understand all this in a lila sense, not in literal sense always. He was having a bit hard time. He was having some surprise seeing Mahaprabhu in this sannyasa being, whom he just found, whom he just had darshana as Rasaraj Mahabhava combined together, Radha-Krishna combined together, felt so overwhelmed with inexplicable nectarine bliss, that he could not hold so much. He could not hold that unlimited experience of bliss and lost normal consciousness. So he just had that darshana of the same sannyasi as the combination of Rasaraj Mahabhava just a few moments ago. Again now, seeing him as sannyasi, it took few moments for him. To come to the realization, this is Mahaprabhu. Gaura Hari, my Lord, my beloved Lord, is another form, another most wonderful, beautiful manifestation of the combination of Radha-Krishna as golden Gauranga, this golden Lord Gauranga in beautiful sannyasa dress. So, Rasaraj Mahabhava duya ekaru. সম্মুখে দেখি তোমার কাঞ্চন পাঞ্চালিকা, তার পিতকান্তে তব সর্ব অঙ্গ ঢাকা। দেখি রামানন্দ হইলা আনন্দে মূর্ছিতে, ধরিতে না পারি দেহ পড়িলা ভূমিতে। So, back to the point. To receive a great way, a super excellent, one of the super excellent ways, glorious ways, very qualified ways to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani is to engage in worshipping of Lord Gaura, who is none other than the very personification of all Radha Bhava, of all Mahabhava, of Srimati Radha Thakur. That was Krishna's main purpose. That was Lord Krishna's main purpose, to appear as Gaura Hari in this Kali Yuga. Also in other yugas, specifically in the Kali Yuga. Because Mahaprabhu's lila is nitya, eternal. When we understand Lord Gauranga's lila to be eternal, so it can manifest in any other yugas also in a special way. Not in a dutiful, not in official manner though. Special way, it can be manifesting before the pure devotees. Okay, without any bondage of time, place, situation, without any limitations. But as regards official manifestation, incarnation, it is stated Kali Yuga. So back to the point. So that was Mahaprabhu's main purpose. To appear, that was Krishna's, Lord Krishna's main purpose, to appear as Lord Gauranga. Okay, to actually relish that Radha Bhava, relish that nectarine, blissful Radha Bhava, Srimati Radha Thakurani's love, intense love for Krishna, what she was relishing, but Krishna could not relish the way she was relishing. Krishna was relishing that in his own way, but he could not relish it directly the way Srimati Radha Thakurani was relishing her love, intense love for Krishna. So Krishna was so greedy. Krishna became so attracted. So very much attracted, okay, to be relishing his love for him as being relished by Srimati Radha Thakurani. Or in other words, Krishna became so irresistibly attracted to relish that love divine of him as it is being manifested in the heart, in the unlimited ocean. Okay, the personification of his love, Srimati Radha Thakurani, and how she is tasty. So, again, some most wonderful thing. So therefore, because Lord Krishna incarnated as Gaura, Krishna knew, although I myself am the embodiment, personification of all bliss, all divine ecstasy and bliss, Sukharup Krishna. Sukharup Krishna Karen Sukha Ashadan. Although I know I myself am the unlimited paragon, unlimited ocean of my own bliss, personification, full-fledged personification of my own love bliss, nectarian love ecstasy. But yet, I am not the full-fledged owner of that. Yet, just before me, there is my goddess, my beloved goddess, Srimati Radharani. So Krishna felt she even excelled him. He felt, my beloved goddess queen of my love, my beloved goddess of all my love, beloved goddess of all my love and life, even excels me. Although I am also unlimited ocean of my own love bliss. But somehow or other, my Radha Thakurani, my Srimati Radhika excels me in that field, in that world. And I do not always directly realize, although I am Almighty God, but I don't directly realize how she is relishing, how she is after by manifesting my unlimited ocean of love, how she is swimming in that, bathing in that, tasting that nectar to the limitlessness, nectarian bliss of my love to the limitlessness. How she is relishing. I am not being able to directly relish that. I am only relishing the way I can from myself. But now, I love to relish being situated in her unlimited ocean of love for me. Diving deep into her unlimited ocean of ecstatic love, blissful love for me. The way she relishes it, I just feel it is much more attractive than I relish about myself. I relish about my own love bliss. That would be more attractive. That would be more attractive. Definitely be more attractive, more pleasurable, more excellent. Then Krishna decided he must have that realization of that relish as his beloved goddess, queen of all love, relishes love for him, Krishna. Then Krishna became Gauranga. That was the main purpose of the incarnation of Golden Lord Gaurahari. And he manifested that lila, specifically the last portion of his wonderful pastimes. Which way we see the manifestation? Which way we see the wonderful manifestation of Mahaprabhu? Only overwhelmed, divinely overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed, immersed in the Radha Prema. By Radha Prema, Krishna Prema, as it was relished by Srimati Radharani. And besides that, Krishna also began to have love for Srimati Radhika in the form of Mahaprabhu. So not only Mahaprabhu was relishing the bhava of Radha Thakurani for Krishna, love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna, but also in course of doing it, in the process of doing it, Krishna was falling in love with Srimati Radharani while in the process of relishing her love for him, Krishna. In that way, Krishna was feeling more attracted to Srimati Radharani with newer kind of love attraction for her goddess Srimati Radharani. The more Krishna in the form of Gauranga began to relish the love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna, it was so tasteful, so intense for that Krishna in the form of Gauranga, that as if he newly fell in love with Srimati Radharani in a more intense way, more intense loving appreciation, by having some taste of Srimati Radharani's love for him. That attracted Krishna in the form of Gauranga to love Srimati Radharani more. That is a very special and hidden characteristic of Sri Gauranga Lila. It is not really explained in a very. It's not really explained in a very clear way or vivid manner, but it is there in confidential way. I heard from Guru Barko. It is there in a very confidential way in Gaura Lila that Krishna in the form of Gauranga, from his part, felt more love as if he never had before, more love for Srimati Radharani. Being influenced, overwhelmed by the supremely nectarian taste, blissful taste of Sri Radharani's love for himself. It is a reciprocative relationship. So dynamically, intensely reciprocative love relationship we have to understand. The release of one's love for another, promoting his love for the counterpart. In this way. So back to the point. Wholeheartedly engaging, with full respect, wholeheartedly engaging in love worships of Gauranga Deva, of Lord Gauranga, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the best way to attract the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Because, see, the fact is that Lord Krishna became a great worshipper of Srimati Radharani, great loving servitor of Srimati Radharani in the form of Gauranga, absorbed, overwhelmed in relishing her love for him. I mean, loving servitor of Radharani in a lila sense, not in a tattvic sense. Okay. Not in the tattvic, in the sense of tattva. Krishna is Supreme Lord. Okay. But he is being served. He is the supreme object of all devotional service. But that lila way, even that Supreme Lord also takes so much bliss, takes so much pleasure, so much bliss to be engaged in devotional service to her beloved Queen, to her supreme beloved goddess, goddess of heart, Srimati Radhika, Srimati Radha Thakurani, who is none other than the infinite ocean, infinite personification of the love of Krishna, of the love of Krishna himself, blissful love of Krishna. And thereby, she also becomes the supreme object of all blissful love of Krishna. It is of such character. As Srimati Radha Thakurani becomes the supreme object of all love worships of Krishna because she is the infinite ocean, personification of love of Krishna. Similarly, Krishna is also the supreme object. Krishna becomes the supreme object of all love worships, loving devotional worships of Srimati Radhika. Okay. of Srimati Radhika. Because Krishna is also, on the other hand, is none other than the infinite ocean of love of Srimati Radharani. Thus they love each other. Thus they love each other. Endlessly, without an end. With endless reciprocation. Ever dynamic, ever flowing nectarine reciprocation between them. Nitya lila. The other way of receiving the mercy of Srimati Radharani is to engage in worshipping Gaura Gadadhara, Gadai Gauranga. I was just chanting Gadai. Gadai means Gadadhara. Nitai Nityananda. Gadai means Gadadhara. Short, another name of Gadadhara as Gadai. Therefore we find Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, before the Srila Bhakti Nandan Thakur, before the Dijabanina. So we find the worshipping, the confidence, a special way of the worshipping of Sri Gaura Gadadhara deity, had been introduced by Thakur Srila Bhakti Vinod, Sri Saraswati Thakur. And that has also been followed by our Guru Varga later. Besides worshipping Sri Gaura Nityananda, also worshipping Gaura Gadadhara, but worshipping of Gaura Gadadhara more reserved type again. Whereas worshipping Gaura Nityananda deity is more given publicly for one and all. But as regard to worshipping Sri Gaura Gadadhara, in the mood of Yugala Upasana of the divine couple, kept more special and reserved way. So, as we understand, Srila Gadadhara Prabhu is none other than Srimati Radharani in Gaura Lila. In other words, Srila Gadadhara Prabhu directly representing Srimati Radharani in Gauranga Lila, beside Mahaprabhu. He is the personification. So Gadadhara Prabhu is also another personification of Radha Bhava, being himself as Srimati Radha Thakurani in Gaura Lila. After Lord Krishna absorbed all Srimati Radharani's mood and complexion, embraced all Srimati Radha Thakurani's mood and complexion and became Gaurahari. And still thereafter, also Radha Thakurani remained. She also remained wonderful. As Srimati Radharani in Brajalila, in eternity, also thereafter, after Krishna took away, absorbed all her devotional mood and golden complexion and became Gaurahari. Then what remained, a new manifestation of Radharani took place, happened. And that was Gadadhara Prabhu. That was Srila Gadadhara Pandit Goswami Gaura Lila. Again, through Achinta Bhedabhed. So Gadadhara Pandit, through Achinta Bhedabhed principle, Gadadhara Pandit was another full-scale manifestation of Srimati Radharani in Gaura Lila. Corresponding relation with Krishna Lila, Srimati Gadadhara Prabhu is understood to be another full-fledged manifestation of Srimati Radhika in Gaura Lila. Okay. Although he is not directly Srimati Radharani as found in Braja Lila, Gadadhar Prabhu. Not directly Srimati Radharani as found, exactly as found in Braja Lila, Vrindavan Lila. But non-different from Srimati Radharani. He is herself directly also, but as befitting in the form as befitting in Gaura Lila. Okay. So difference and non-difference all at the same time. Different and non-different together at the same time. Ultimately inconceivable. So, engaging in loving worship of Gaura Gadadhara with all heart is another great way to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Besides that, engaging in worships, engaging in devotional worshipings of her beloved associates, Ashta Sakhis, Ashta Manjaris, in other words, all Sakhis, all Manjaris, all other Brajagopis under her shelter. Also another great way of attracting her mercy in our life. Okay. Because naturally, she becomes so pleased when she sees someone being absorbed, devotionally absorbed in serving her divine associates, beloved associates, such as Ashta Sakhi, Ashta Manjaris, other Sakhis, other Manjaris. Okay. What to speak more of her supreme beloved Krishna? Then naturally, that attracts her merciful attention, attracts her gracious attention towards those devotees, rather than the devotees trying to directly worship her. Except for the very high class exalted Mahabhagavata devotees who are directly related to Srimati Radharani. Of course, nobody says I'm directly related to Srimati Radharani. Everybody, all our Guru Varga says, we are servitor of the Sakhis, Manjaris. We are servants of them. That's how they present themselves. Okay, we are the servitors of her servitors. But again, to describe the fact, when we see some of our Guru Varga, exalted Guru Varga, who are even directly related to Srimati Radharani, through Sarupa Siddhi or Sadhana Siddhi, yet, they always present themselves. They always not just presenting themselves for some show, for showing, no, but actually they mean. In fact, they're all engaged in worshipping, devotionally serving the Manjaris, Sakhis, and through them being situated in their shelter, they relate to Srimati Radharani. That's our Guru Varga's position. That's what they factually do. And through them, they feel more direct relation, direct connection with Srimati Radharani, more direct connection with the mercy of Srimati Radharani, more direct attainment of the grace, shelter of Srimati Radharani, rather than trying to directly relate. Rather than trying to straightly relate, a straight, direct way. So, that is another great way to attract, to receive the mercy of divine goddess, our beloved goddess, Srimati Radharani.
Jai.
Now, I describe all different alternative ways. Okay, before coming to conclusion, I just feel like chanting, singing one verse from the Vilapa Kusumanjali of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Oh, there are so many verses. There are so many wonderful, glorious verses in praise, describing the glories of Srimati Radharani. Our time is limited. No? Okay. Infinite ocean. But I hope to touch a few of them. At this moment, this is appearing in my heart. A verse from Vilapa Kusumanjali. Asha Bhari, Vilapa Kusumanjali is by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. A very high book, of high release, transcendental release. That very book, the very meaning of the title of the book, Vilapa Kusumanjali, means offering the tributes, offering the divinely beautiful flower tributes at the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani through divine lamentations, through intense, devotionally intense, loving lamentations, feeling acute pain of separation. See, that's what is Vilapa Kusumanjali. The tributes of divinely, devotionally beautiful flowers, colorful flowers, love flowers, in the form of lamentations, love lamentations, feeling acute pain of separation, acute love pain of separation from his beloved goddess, her beloved goddess, Srimati Radharani. That is Vilapa Kusumanjali. This is one of those verses. Asha bhari ramita sindhu mayai kathanchi kalo mayati gomita kilasham pratanhi tanchit kripang mai vidha shashinaiva king pranoir braje nachabaroru bakarinati pranoir braje nachabaroru bakarinati. O my divine goddess, O my beloved goddess, Srimati Radhika. At this moment, my mind and heart is flooded with many hopes, many nectarian hopes of receiving your mercy, of receiving your benevolent mercy. Please do not make me hopeless. Please fulfill this my hope. Please mercifully fulfill this great hope of mine that I am going to receive your mercy. Please don't deprive me. Please don't deprive of that. Deprive me of that. I know you're so benevolent Goddess, so merciful Goddess. Please do justice to your name that you are so merciful to your devotee, to your servitor, who knows none but you, who knows none other than you. You are her everything of life, life and soul. You are her everything. Now she wants that servitor in the form of myself. Radha would say, I am actually not just literally translating this verse, but I am explaining with illuminescence the inner mood of such verse. So such your loving servitor is now becoming impatient, is now becoming more and more impatient without being embraced by your mercy, without receiving sufficient mercy. So this loving servitor is now waiting, earnestly waiting, longing for intensely to be receiving your special grace, your mercy in her life. And she feels, this loving servitor feels, you have not yet become merciful enough to her, to me. Her means me. Yeah. So while I am situated in loving service to you, offering my love services to you, somehow or other at this moment, my heart is filled with, or my heart is totally inundated with great nectarian hopes that soon I am going to receive your mercy. Let it be happening that way, my Goddess. Please let it happen that way, mercifully. I need more attention. I need more merciful attention and care from you. It is needed, intensely needed in the life of this servitor. I am in separation because I am in I'm discovering myself, finding myself in great pain of separation from you. From you, my beloved Goddess. I have remained absorbed in your bhajana for so long time. Still I feel I have not received enough. I have not received enough of your mercy and love, loving grace. So, please be merciful. Please be merciful on me. Please fulfill my life and soul with your divine mercy, my Goddess. If I do not receive it, then what's the use? What's the real use of maintaining my life, continuing with my life, continuing doing sadhana in this braja, continuing to live? I repeat, if I do not receive your mercy, what's the real use of this my life, continuing with my life, continuing to be in Braja in this way. Because all my ultimate goal, my ultimate aim, ultimate goal, ambrosial goal of my life, all my ambrosial fulfillment of life is to be embraced by your mercy. See, what is the intensity? How is the intensity of prayer to seek, to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani? With so much love, tears, so much love, intense love, tears in separation. Through his Vipralambha Prema in relation to Srimati Radharani, Srimati Radhika, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu was actually being united. He was being united with the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Union through separation. Union in separation is called. That was the mood. Vipralambha Bhava. He was having divine union with the mercy of, with the merciful shelter of Srimati Radha Thakurani through extreme, intense pain of separation, feeling. The way of Srimad Mahaprabhu also relished, somewhat similar to the way Srimad Mahaprabhu also relished. Sri Radha Bhava, Sri Radha Prema in the Vipralambha mood, especially during his last portion of manifest pastimes, last part of his manifest pastimes on the lila. If one can truly absorb in relishing the Antolila of Gauranga Hari, of Sri Gaura Hari Mahaprabhu, cannot but receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. One day, no doubt about it. Because the very description, the relish, ambrosial realization of the Antolila, last lila of Mahaprabhu, is none other than the unlimited ocean of Sri Radha Prema, Radha-Krishna Prema. If one can have any entrance into the relish of that, Srimati Radharani's mercy ensured for that devotee. Krishna Lila Amrita Sar Tar Shato Shato Dhar Dashadiki Bahi Jaha Vaiti Shri Chaitanya Lila Hoy Sarovaru Yakshay Manohamsa Charahota Hati. Sri Chaitanya Lila is actually unlimited source, unlimited origin, unlimited nectarine ocean of Krishna Lila, wherefrom infinite Krishna Lila was springing up, flowing, upsurging, flowing with upsurge, and covering all directions, all the 10 directions. But the very origin of that ambrosial Krishna Lila is discovered, is found, newly found in Gauranga Lila. Also in non-difference. Sri Chaitanya Lila Hoy Sarovaru Yakshay. That Sri Chaitanya Lila is the unlimited paragon. Sarovara Akshay, unlimited paragon, unlimited lake, meaning unlimited ocean. Oh devotees, please be swimming and bathing in that nectarian, unlimited nectarian ocean of Krishna lila in the form of Gauranga lila. When one can absorb into that ocean, when one can dive deep into that ocean, absorb into that ocean, Srimati Radharani, receiving Srimati Radharani's mercy is ensured. We do not know when it will come, but it will come. It must come, definitely. There are so many other beautiful prayers offered to Srimati Radharani. Requesting, earnestly requesting, earnestly hankering, intensely hankering for her mercy. And Srimati Radha Thakurani cannot stay away from those devotees for long. Because their prayer is so powerful. Their prayer is so intensely powerful, lovingly powerful, cannot but attract the mercy of Srimati Radharani in their life. Because those devotees are highly qualified, those super exalted devotees are so highly qualified. They really know how to attract the mercy of divine Goddess Srimati Radharani in their life. The more they receive, the more they want to receive. That is the fact. That is the fact in the life of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu. Okay. It was not the fact that Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu did not receive any mercy of Srimati Radharani until then, and therefore he was so engaged, he was so desperate to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So I repeat, it was not that he did not receive any other mercy until then. He already received some mercy of, he already received a great mercy of Srimati Radharani. Yet he wanted more. Okay. Such is the character of having relationship with infinite ambrosia, with infinite nectar. Supreme personality of the infinite nectar. Such is the criteria. The more you receive, the more you want to receive. The thirst never gets quenched. The more you get thirsty, you receive, you drink the ambrosia, you drink the nectar, your thirst gets quenched for a while. As soon as your thirst is satisfied, it is quenched, again new thirst coming on. You become more thirsty again to drink further, never-ending way. Nava. It happens, it continues to happen, everlasting. Okay. Eternal ways, never-ending ways. Quenching of thirst. The more the thirst is quenched, the more thirst increases. The more the devotee gets thirsty, nectar comes. Nectar comes, receives the nectar to quench the thirst. Again, as soon as the thirst is quenched, becomes thirstier, thirstier to receive, to drink that nectar again. It goes on never-ending way. Such is the case of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami Prabhu. So it was not really that he did not receive any mercy of Srimati Radharani until then. He received so much mercy, yet he felt he needed more. He needed more, as if it was not enough. Needed more. Loving mercy from her beloved goddess. Such became the lila relationship between Sri Raghunath Das Goswami and Srimati Radharani. Therefore he again offered such prayer in intense way, with intense loving devotion to Srimati Radharani. Not only with Raghunath Das Goswami, but all 6 Goswamis, all great, they're all eternal associates of Srimati Radharani, beloved, great beloved servitors, associate servitors of Srimati Radharani. Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, all eternal servitors of Srimati Radharani. Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu. Many of our Guru Varga. Kumkumakta Kanja. Remember that verse from Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu. Starting with Kumkumakta Kanja Nabchu Garbhahari Gaura Pita Nanchi Tabchu Gandha Nindi Kirti Saurabha. Kumkumakta Kanja Nabchu Garbhahari Gaura Pita Nanchi Tabchu Gandha Kirti Nindi Saurabha. Ballavesha Shunu Sarva Vanchitartha Sadhika Madhyamatma Pada Padma Dasha Dastu Radhika. In this way, so many wonderful verses in prayer to Srimati Radharani. So now, actually it's not possible to come to the conclusion. Relatively trying to come into conclusion is that about receiving the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Now, all these alternative ways, all these great alternative ways, so far I have explained, to receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani can also be combined in our lives. We can also combine all of them together in our life, unify all of them together in our life, and be so engaged in such like all-encompassing, all-embracing devotional worships to Srimati Radhika, to attract her mercy, to be praying, in hankering for her mercy with all humility. That is the main qualification. That is one of the real foremost and main qualifications, humility. No other type of claims. We must have, while seeking for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, while praying for, hankering for the mercy of Srimati Radharani, we must have our heart filled with humility. With full humility, we'll be praying for it. And also, full humility, praying for the grace, praying for the divine mercy of Krishna, so that by that mercy we can attract the mercy of Srimati Radharani in our life. Because Krishna Krishna is her supreme beloved. If her supreme beloved, when her supreme beloved wants her to be merciful on a particular devotee, she cannot but be merciful. She must be merciful to that devotee. So, in Braja, we often hear such type of local singing. Radhe, 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 Shyam Milade Radhe. Radhe, 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 Shyam Milade Radhe. In that singing, they are actually praying to Srimati Radharani. Oh Srimati Radhe, please. Oh Srimati Radhe, please be merciful on us so that we can attain Krishna. Oh Srimati Radhe, please let us attain your beloved Lord Krishna. Attain love service to your beloved Lord Krishna. Now, on the other hand, our prayers will be just other way around. We can also say, oh Shama, Shama, Shama. In this way, Radhe, 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 Shyam Milade Radhe. Oh Shama, 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 Hame Milade Radhe. Oh Shama, 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 Radhe Milade Shama. Oh Shama, oh beloved Lord Shama. Oh Shama, 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 Radhe Milade Shama. Oh Shama, 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 Radhe Milade Shama. Our prayer can also be that. Then one day we can receive the mercy of Srimati Radharani. Mahabhava Sharupitam Krishna Priya Variyasi Prema Bhakti Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Radhike Twam Namamyaham. Devi Krishna Mai Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sambhahini Para. Devi Krishna Mai Prakta Radhika Paradevata. Srimati Radha Thakurani. Srimati Radha Thakurani is none other than personification, direct personification of Krishna Prema. She is filled with Krishna. She is filled with the consciousness, feelings, emotions of ecstatic love of Krishna within and without, in and out, all around. Therefore, she is called as Krishnamayi, Krishnamayi, Prokta, Radhika Paradevata. So, thus, Srimati Radharani is also our supreme goddess of all our loving worships. In other words, she is the supreme goddess, the supreme goal of all our love worships besides Krishna, in relation to Krishna. He is the supreme goddess of all our love worships, devotional worships in our life in relation to Krishna. Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. Srimati Radharani is the sum total of the all Lakshmi Tattva. She is the full-fledged personification of all divine Lakshmi Tattva. Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. She is divinely effulgent. Sarva Kanti means she is divinely beautiful, effulgent. Her divine effulgence of all transcending, all excelling beauty knows no bound. Sarva Kanti, Kanti means, literally Kanti means effulgence. It means the effulgence of her beauty. Because beauty has got its effulgence, aura. So, deeper meaning is that she is so effulgent with divine beauty of Krishna Prema. She is unlimitedly effulgent, unlimited ocean of all effulgence of the bliss, of her own unlimited beauty and blissful love of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna becomes so attracted because she is unlimitedly beautiful. Okay. Krishna wants to be decorated with the divine effulgence of her unlimited beauty and qualities. Krishna loves to be imbued with that, be embraced with that, and becomes more beautiful even. And Krishna is embraced, decorated with the beauty of Srimati Radharani, with the ecstatic love of Srimati Radharani. He becomes even more beautiful. The supremely infinitely beautiful Lord even becomes more beautiful in Achinta Bheda. Srimati Radharani is of such nature. Okay. Is there any relevant question? Any related or unrelated question? If not, chant Mahamantra. Let us sing Mahamantra and end the class. Can some of you chant Mahamantra? Lead. Where is God? Is God? Come. Start chanting Mahamantra. Lead, sing.
Maharaj, you will lead?
Okay, before you do,
Yep.
In conclusion, I will also like to mention another reality. While we are absorbed in chanting and singing Mahamantra in bliss, we also attract so much mercy of Srimati Radharani simply by engaging, chanting Mahamantra with devotion. Because Mahamantra is none other than another representation, another direct manifestation of Srimati Radharani. Radharani and Krishna together. But Mahamantra is so much characterized, it is so much imbued with, so closely, intimately related with Srimati Radharani besides Krishna. So since Mahamantra also represents the direct manifestation of the divine couple, together in relation to each other. So while very faithfully, devotionally being absorbed in chanting, singing Mahamantram, full heart. There's another great way to attract the mercy of Srimati Radharani.